Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me. This is a tutorial on how to do a Sun Salutation A or Surya Namaskar A. This is great for beginners. This is a way for you to kind of get back into your yoga practice. This is a awesome way to warm up the body, something that you can do in the mornings to wake yourself up or when you need a little pick-me-up in the middle of the day. Okay, so we're gonna start by standing nice and tall at the top end of your yoga mat. And remember, before you do anything that is going to require some effort on your part, to warm up the body before you get onto your yoga mat. All right. So allow your feet to be sit bone distance apart. Okay. So you don't want them together. And as you see here, I can say, well, this is sit bone distance. Well, my feet are wider than my hips. So either sit bone or hip bone distance, that would be fine. Allow your feet to be pointing forward and stand up nice and tall. A lot of times, this is what happens to our ankles. Whoop, they kind of sickle inward. Try to press or think about the inner ankles pressing towards the outer ankles so you can really feel your feet begin to get grounded, okay? Lift the toes, spread the toes wide, and then individually press each toe down towards the floor. So once you begin to give your attention to your foundation, you're gonna feel yourself like, oh my gosh, I'm really grounded right now. So think about pressing through all four corners of your feet, the mound of the big toe, the little toe, the inside and outside edges of your heels, okay? Now, a lot of times I want to just reiterate that yoga needs to be functional for your body. So if this is uncomfortable or you're feeling some type of knee pain, and this is how you typically tend to stand, then honor your body, okay? So, one of the beautiful things about our yoga practice is that it's functional. We want this practice to feel good and not to cause any pain. And the reason why I'm saying it's totally cool to stand this way is because our skeletal variation is massive, right? So, our bones can be different. So, it's very important for you to honor your body. Push down through all four corners of your feet. Now, a lot of times what happens is our knees tend to hyperextend, and then we begin to get that bow-legged thing going on, right? And if that's you, if you know that you hyperextend, microbend those knees a little bit. When you microbend those knees, guess what? Your legs are getting active, and you probably already feeling it right now. Lift the kneecaps and notice how your quadriceps begin to engage. Now, we're moving up. We're moving up the trunk. Now, think about the pelvis and the pelvic floor. Okay, think of this part of your body being a bowl filled with water. So, a lot of times, a lot of us then like this. So, if the bowl is tilted anterior like that, the water begins to flow over. Some of us might be whoop, like this, the water is spilling back. So we need to have a neutral position for our pelvic floor, okay? So think about drawing the ribs in and drawing the ribs down towards your hip points. So when you do that, organically your pelvis and the pelvic floor gets in alignment, okay? And you might also feel the engagement on your core. You might also feel like, oh my gosh, my low back is working. So you want to keep that from the feet, legs, pelvic floor. Now, remember, draw the ribs in gently, engage the belly button in towards the spine. And what do you do with your hands and your shoulders? So let's lift the shoulders up, roll the shoulder blades on the back, remind them where they're supposed to live, and you relax those arms, palms facing out, and extend those fingers. Yeah. So this is mountain pose. You should feel rooted, centered, strong. Yeah. And so this is the feeling that you need to feel in all of the yoga poses: rooted, centered, strong, and balanced. All right, so let's begin our tutorial for Sun Salutation A. So we begin by establishing the breath. So you stop, stay rooted, breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose. See if you can breathe in for 4 count, breathe out for 4 count. So we are setting the pace of the flow with your breath. On your next inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky and spread those fingers and reach up. Exhale, bend those knees and fold over those thighs and touch the floor. Now let's stay here for a second. So many of us, when we fold forward, you round the back and you allow those hands to hang and the hips are way back there and this might be you, right? If that is you, let's refine that. So push down through your feet, bend those knees, lengthen the spine, rest your chest on your thighs. I don't care how deep you're folding, and hands on the floor. As long as you're feeling it, you are doing it, right? So your hamstrings, the low back, the spine, release the head, everything is getting a nice stretch. And when you do this more and more, maybe you're able to straighten the legs a little bit more. And it's okay if they're not completely straight. Remember, it's about the functionality of the practice. When you're ready, on your inhale, place your hands on your shin bones below your knees. Now, I need you to press against your shin bones against the hands. And then as you push against your shin bones, straighten those arms as you press your chest forward. Roll the shoulders back and you're gazing straight down. Now, if you need to look, please look. So here, the back is a flat back. This is Ardha Uttanasana. I'm not looking up and I'm not looking down. I'm elongating through the crown of the head, elongating the back of my neck and my throat. And as you exhale, you fold, bend your knees and plant your hands and step back, plank pose. Now your hands are wide, fingers are apart, and your hands should be a little bit wider than your shoulders. Now, if plank pose is too much, lower down to your knees. It's okay. Now engage the core and find mountain pose here as well. So you want to engage your core here. Send your chest forward and begin to lower down all the way to the floor. Okay. Now lengthen the legs behind you, point your toes and press the tops of your feet down towards the planet. Look at your hands, make sure that they are next to your ribs, and then roll the shoulders back. From here, we're going into Cobra. So push down through your hands, energetically drag them back as you press your chest forward and up. This is your Cobra. So the pelvis stays rooted. The pubic bone stays rooted, and you're lifting the chest forward and up and expanding those lungs as you breathe. As you exhale, push up onto your knees, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. So push down through your hands, lift the hips up and back. Look at your feet, make sure that they are sit bone distance. Look at your hands and step your hands a little bit wider than your shoulders. Make sure that your fingers are wide. In my practice, I like my index fingers pointing forward, but it all depends on your range of motion on your wrists. So sometimes you might want your middle fingers pointing forward. So you do you. Now, push down strongly through your hands. And as you do this, press your hips back and up towards the sky. If you need to bend your knees, please do so, but try to lower the heels down towards the floor. If they touch or not, it's okay. Now, think about pushing down firmly through those hands, elongating your limbs. And imagine pushing down through your yoga mat and stretching your yoga mat in front of you, like forward. Now, think about your feet. Push your feet down towards the floor through your yoga mat and drag your feet back as if you're stretching your yoga mat from both directions. Typically, the downward facing dog is held for 5 breaths in a Surya Namaskar A. When you are ready, on your inhale, look forward and gently make your way back up into a forward fold. Remember, bend your knees, touch the floor, release the head. Inhale, hands on your shin bones, and remember, press against your shin bones as you straighten your arms, shoulders back, elongating the spine. Exhale, fold. Soften your knees and root down. Engage the core. Inhale, begin to look up and reach the arms up, coming into standing, reaching up. Exhale, hands together to your heart center. That is it. So let's see if we can speed it up just a little bit, less me talking, and let's see how you do. So, mountain pose, root, engage, relax, hands out. Inhale, arms up towards the sky, stay rooted. Exhale, soften your knees, fold over your thighs, touch the floor. Inhale, hands on your shin bones, lift the chest forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your big hands on the planet, step back plank pose, and lower all the way down to the floor. That's one exhale, guys. Inhale, you lift the chest into your back bend cobra. Exhale, press back onto your knees and downward facing dog. Pause here, inhale. Now again, think about what those hands and arms and legs and feet are doing. Exhale, lengthen the spine. And I know that this down dog can be challenging for you, but the more you practice, the easier it'll get. When you're ready, inhale, look forward, and gently make your way back to the top end of your yoga mat into a standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Hands on the shin bones, inhale, lengthen Ardha Uttanasana, lift the chest forward. Exhale, fold in half, Uttanasana. Inhale, push down through your feet, reach all the way up. Good, exhale, hands together to your heart center. Are you getting it? Let's do it a couple more times. Root down, find your ground. Stand nice and tall and strong. Notice what the pelvic floor is doing. Engage the core. Keep the engagement of the core going. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, soften those knees. Uttanasana. Forward fold. Hands on your shin bones, lift the chest forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back and lower to the floor, even if you need to lower down onto your knees. Elongate those legs behind you. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, onto your knees, downward facing dog. Pause here, inhale. Exhale, remember to breathe in and out. Stay as consistent as you can with your breathing. Equal part in breath, equal part out breath. When you are ready, look forward and step to the front end of your yoga mat into a forward fold. Notice how it is that you're stepping. Your feet should be sit bone distance. Inhale, lengthen flat back. Be very mindful what every single part of your body is doing. Exhale, fold. Root down to rise up. Reach those arms up high. Exhale, hands together to your heart center. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the chest forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back to plank, and then lower to the floor. Lengthen those legs behind you. Inhale, lift the chest. Press your hands down. What are your feet doing behind you? Press them down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Take a moment here to always check in. Look at your hands. Look at your feet. How are you planted? Are you committing to being very present? When you're ready, inhale, step it up. Fold forward, look at your feet, make sure that you are properly planted. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step it back, plank, and lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pause here. Take a moment to really enjoy everything that your body is doing for you today. When you are ready, Inhale, step it up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest forward. Remember your arms are straight, shoulders on the back. Exhale, fold, bending those knees to your own degree. Inhale, root to rise all the way. Exhale, hands together to your heart center. There it is. This is your tutorial for your Sun Salutations A. If you have any questions, send me a message, comment on the video below, like this video, and share it with your friends. Get started. Get started with the yoga. It's awesome. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.